and welcome to Talk a Good Game. We're now on to episode 13. We have a new person with us tonight, but first of all, we've got Mr. Regular, Gonzo. Hello, Gonzo.
Good evening.
Gonzo, are you excited about our guest we've got on tonight?
I'm very, very excited, but I'm very excited to see you here as well, mate, to be honest with you.
Obviously, most people are. But Dave, thank you very much for joining us and popping on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Well, tonight we're going to chat a little bit about the transfer window, not too much, and then we're going to look at the Newcastle game. But before we do that, just take a wee minute to subscribe to our channel. And now you've subscribed. Fantastic. We'd like to start by thanking everybody that gave us donations to the ladies' sponsorship. We were able to sponsor a ladies' player as well. They have a game on Thursday night at home, 7:45 kickoff. Again, it's just £5 to get in, so if you're free on Thursday night, do pop along and give them your support. Gonzo, the transfer window was shut last week. Are you happy with it? Obviously, we did a transfer deadline show, but I think we were all a wee bit giddy about it back then. Now it's calmed down, you've had another look at transfer window overall. Are you still chuffed?
Oh yeah, just as much as last time, really. In fact, probably even a little bit more, because before I didn't know anything about Antonio, so I've had a bit of time to have a look at some YouTube clips. And I think him in particular, he looks like he could be, a real diamond in the rough. Watched some clips of him at Reading. And, seems to cut in a lot, doesn't he? Nottingham Forest, cutting in a lot from the left. Scores a lot of goals for a winger. Fast, powerful. I think we needed a bit of pace in the team. And, very excited about him.
Fantastic. Dave, what's your thoughts on the transfer window? Were you happy with the business that the club did?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Similar to Gonzo, I think Antonio is a sort of player who not everyone knew who he was, but he's got a lot of potential. He's played non-league football about, I think, 3 years ago. And he just keeps moving up the levels. So fingers crossed, he can do us a good job. And apparently he's a West Ham fan as well.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. I've seen that on social media, bopping about it. He used to attend games as younger. I know nothing about him, but he's the one I'm really looking forward to seeing, simply because it's the unknown, if you like. A bit like Lanzini, I didn't really know anything about him, and he really impressed at Anfield. We'll quickly touch on some news now. Kevin Nolan's training with Leighton Orient, so it looks like he's finally found his level. Matt Jarvis has joined Norwich on transfer deadline day on loan, so he's going to sit on the bench at Carrow Road instead of Upton Park. The Fast and Furious 7 came out this week. You might wonder why I'm mentioning that, but it's been a while since a good DVD came out. Hey, Dave?
Why is it a craze?
Did anybody see that Victor Moses? Moses just started. He's obviously trying to sort of suck up to his new employer, and he tweeted the wrong Craig film, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. It was funny though.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Other news is Wayne Rooney broke a England record tonight. Apart from the goal scoring one, he's also shagged the most grannies in the England team. And finally, Julian Dix left Twitter, probably because he got asked silly questions such as, what's your favourite middle name? Is it Loves, Takes or Nauseous? But anyway, moving on now, we'll look at the Newcastle game. On Monday night, we host Newcastle United at Upton Park. Gonzo, are you a fan of Steve McLaren?
I'm a fan of him as a coach. If you were to speak to any of the former players, I heard Gary Neville speaking about, apparently his training drills are second to none. He's a very, very good coach. But I think he possibly lacks a little bit in man management skills. And I think you probably saw when he was almost perfect to be alongside Harry Redknapp when they were at QPR, because Redknapp is all man management. And I think it's any surprise that when McLaren left QPR, they really nosedived. So yeah, I'm not sure he's a number one, to be perfectly honest with you. He didn't do too well at Forest. He didn't quite get Derby up, and he's very well in Holland. But yeah, good on the training pitch, I think. Yeah,
he balled out at Derby. I think they had the title in their hands last season when he joined County, and they blew it big time. David, what's your opinion on Newcastle United?
They've got a few very good players, and if they turn up, which hopefully they don't, then we could have a seriously tough game. They've got Sissoko, Wijnaldum. He's very good, the one from Holland, and the manager he was very good at Middlesbrough. So there is something there. They have got a lot of quality. It's just, will it all come together on the day for them? That's the really only thing I can think of. Will it all happen?
Yeah, well, he's definitely a decent player. I was quite gutted he went to Newcastle United. He's never really liked with us, but he's the type of player I was hoping that we would maybe put in a wee bid for. Gonzo, what's your opinion on Newcastle United so far this season then? Are you worried, or because Dave's obviously thinking that it could be a tough one, or are you quite confident?
I am for this one. Actually, I think they've been tight defensively, haven't they? They bought a guy from Marseille as well. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but I think they got the wrong guy. Really, they have. They signed. It begins with T.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I'm not going to pronounce it either, but it's...
No. But the guy that went to Swansea was very good, and clearly we were linked with him at some point. But we got the best Marseille player in Payet, and I think they've gone in big for him. The Dutch fella as well, Sissoko, as Dave said, is a very good player. But actually, I'm not worried. I think Bilic has got real options now. He wants to go with a bit more width. He's got Moses or he's got Antonio. But let's be perfectly honest with you, the team are fantastic against Liverpool, and if he was to play, Obiang looks really decent. So I really fancy us, and possibly maybe Dave might know if Zarati's fit for the weekend. It's Monday, isn't it? If Sacco starts, maybe it's a bit of Zarati as well. I really fancy us.
Yeah, Dave, one thing we've been discussing on the forum, and I suppose it's probably the only discussion that West Ham fans are going to be wondering this week, who would you have right back, Tompkins or Jenkinson?
I think it's a tough one. I think if you judge it on this season, we've kept two clean sheets when Tompkins has been out right back against two arguably top 4 teams. And the 2 games at home versus the lesser teams, we let in 6 goals. If you was basing it purely on that, you'd have to say Tompkins. I think if you asked a lot of West Ham fans, they'd say Tompkins purely because he's West Ham born and bred, and secondly, similar to how it's been this season. But it's not like, I think Jenkinson gives more going forward, but then again, Tompkins can score off corners. So really, it's this, you can either one. I'm undecided, but it's not easy.
No, it's split opinions on the forum as well, actually. There's quite a lot more people saying Jenkinson than I thought there would be. I think we might send out the wrong message if Jenkinson starts, actually, because Tompkins has played well both games. I'll be honest, I thought it was the right decision to play Jenkinson against Leicester and Bournemouth and drop Tompkins after the win at Arsenal, because I thought, it wasn't Jenkinson's fault he couldn't play at Arsenal. But he hasn't looked great so far this season. And what about you, Gonzo? Are you thinking Tompkins should keep his place, or do you think we should go with our right back Jenkinson?
Well, yeah, I think Tompkins should keep his place there, but I think just the team in general, I think after such a brilliant win against Liverpool, it's going to be really difficult for the manager to change anyone in the team. As much he's probably itching to play some of his new guys as well, But I would keep exactly the same team. And maybe introduce. I'd keep Tompkins at right back, but then maybe introduce Moses or Antonio off the bench if he needs a little bit of something different with some width.
Zarate might be back, and Andy Carroll might be back on the bench as well, and he's the player I'm looking forward to see. I cannot wait to see Andy Carroll back. I'm a big fan of Carroll. I'll be sitting there with my money ready to go on Andy Carroll score the next goal as soon as he's on that pitch. Dave, would you change anything from the Liverpool game, or would you keep the same 11? Or are you hoping that Bilic maybe changes it up a wee bit and you see some of the new signings on the pitch?
Personally, I'll keep it the same. You can't fault that team. And also, I'll play a similar system. I know we're at home, but I'll just try and soak it up and counter-attack. We've done that twice this season, Arsenal away and Liverpool away, and neither team could handle it. Because we just soaked it up, and we went. When we go, we're a very fast team. We've got skill. Got pace, we can beat teams heavily, and especially with under the lights with the crowd behind us, I think we could do Newcastle some real damage. So I'll play the exact same way, same team.
Yeah, the only bad news for the game is, Gonzo, you might not know this, the man in the middle is Anthony Taylor, who ref the Leicester home game, who did not give us a penalty for the clothesline on Sacco, and you sent off the keeper, which, when we reviewed the game, we did think was the right decision. To the end of the show, and before I give you the Betway offer, I'll get predictions from these 2 guys. So Dave, time to put your neck on the line and give us a score prediction.
I think 3-1 to West Ham. I think Payet will score, Sacco will score, and a substitute will score. I don't know which substitute, but a substitute will score.
That's a hint. That's a hint that a new signing's going to score, I think. Gonzo, what's your score prediction?
He's sort of stolen my thunder, really. I was actually going to say 2-1, and I think Payet will score as well, because I just think he's amazing.
I'm going 3-1 as well, actually, and I've got Andy Carroll to score. as you may can tell, I'm a big fan of Big Andy, and I'll be celebrating if he scores. If you do not have a Betway account, you can join up through Hammers Chat and get a free match bet and get entered into a £20 free draw. Currently, they have 13-2 for West Ham to finish above Tottenham. We would all love that to happen, wouldn't we, Dave?
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad, would it?
And you can also get 5-2 for us to finish in the top 10. So for your tenner, you can get £35 back simply for us to finish in the top half. So there's fantastic prices there. But anyway, firstly, I'd like to say thank you, Gonzo, for popping on again.
Thank you very much.
A special thanks to you, Dave, for giving up your time when you're a busy chap.
It's no problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And hopefully we'll be back next week celebrating another win and a thumping of Newcastle United. Thank you and good night.